Now at 9, a federal judge weighs in on a case surrounding the constitutionality of the Kansas Highway Patrol's two-step technique. Plus,
local mechanics are staying busy as they're helping people prepare for holiday traveling. I'm Anthony Saviello. I'll have more coming up.
And meet a priest in Carthage who isn't letting Parkinson's disease stop him from setting up an iconic Christmas lights display.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Dow Quick. A federal judge says the Kansas Highway Patrol must stop using the tactic known as the Kansas two-step. The judge today granted a permanent injunction banning the use of the tactic, which involves troopers buying time during traffic stops to get a drug-sniffing dog to a location. In July, the judge ruled the tactic violated the constitutional rights of drivers and targeted out-of-state residents. Authorities charge a Newton County jailer with passing drugs to an inmate in exchange for money. Investigators allege on at least 6 occasions, Corey Schrum, a corrections officer at the Newton County Jail, passed drugs to an inmate. They say video evidence shows the most recent instance was Friday morning, the day of Schrum's arrest, where investigators say he can be seen passing a plastic bag with a white substance to the inmate. A test of the substance indicates it was methamphetamine. Schrum was transferred to the Jasper County Jail, where he remains on a no bond hold. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, of course, it was a chilly day for us today. We had the clouds, we had the drizzle during the morning hours, and then a little bit of sunshine by mid-afternoon, but our temperatures below average, which is atypical for us so far this month. 48 was our high, started at 36. 56 is where we should be topping out for this time of the year. Record high 75 set back in 1966. Going outside, it's chilly, it's cold. We're into the mid-30s, at least roads are dry. So if you're heading out, traveling tonight, traveling in the morning, we are dealing with dry roads, which is good news, but it's chilly. 39 in Nevada, 37 in Neosho, 37 in Miami. We have Parsons down to about 30 degrees. As we go through the night, we'll continue with clear skies as the clouds continue to erode away from our past storm system. So what does travel look like for the rest of the week? We'll look at that here in just a bit.
See you soon. Fort Scott City Commission this evening rejected a resignation request from the city manager. They voted that Brad Matkin must stay on in the position. However, they also approved a pay increase for the city manager. A lot of travelers are making sure their car is in tip-top shape before they hit the road for the holidays. KOAM's Anthony Saviello gives us a look at how busy local mechanics are with such high demand.
It's a busy time of year for mechanics. As millions hit the road, the need for cars to be travel ready is a must.
Oil changes and checking their antifreeze, because this time of year, it is a concern on getting down cold from one day to the next, but antifreeze and keeping their tire pressure up on their tires, because this time of year, tire pressure does go down when the temperature goes down.
Neptune Auto is one of many auto shops in the area with a full garage. Owner Jeff Lovell says he understands the need to put patrons back on the road safely.
So keep a good set of tires on there, keep them rotated. When you take it to the shop, have them observe it, because just because they look good on the outside does not mean the inside tread's good. And have them check your brakes. Brakes and tires is 2 of the most important things there is.
But there are things you can do on your own to prepare for any incident.
I would say keep blankets in your car. Set of jumper cables would be nice, or a battery pack, just in case. Flashlight, if you're traveling at night at all. And just keep an eye on things. Make sure your wipers are good, because this time of year, you don't know when we're going from rain to ice.
It's important to note that most mechanics and car technicians won't be open on Thanksgiving Day. So better to get it checked now before it's too late.
This time of year is probably the most critical, because you don't want somebody to be stranded down the road this time of year when bad weather is coming up.
Though going to the mechanic may not bring all the holiday cheer, it's necessary that your vehicle stays up to date and is ready to weather the heavy traveling. Reporting in Pittsburgh, I'm Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Hey, and a reminder as you travel, watch out for deer. They are active this time of year. The Neosho Farmers Market today baked up its first ever Thanksgiving market. The event took place in the farmers market lot in historic downtown Neosho. Bakers took center stage with a wide variety of pies, assorted homemade breads and hot rolls, lemon curd, cookies, and local honey.
That there's another option. I mean, if you don't have time to bake it yourself, there are people in our community that are phenomenal bakers and makers, and that's the heart and soul of our farmers market, is our farmers and our makers and our bakers.
This was the final farmers market of the season. On Thanksgiving Day, the Way of Salvation Christmas light display will open in Carthage. Father Dominic Gwynn, the priest in charge of the light display this year, is not letting a health condition he deals with stop him. KOAM's Fernandez Silva has that story.
We put it on the slides on the kind of a projector. We draw it out, and then from there we do our picture. This is small. There's some that are 15 feet long, 12 feet high. This is the angel with Abraham and Isaac.
In charge of the Way of Salvation Christmas light display this year, Father Dominic has been spending his days in the storage area where the Christmas lights are kept all year long. He's working on new frames for the traditional display. This year, besides telling stories that were previously told in the Christmas lights display, the organizers also want to tell new stories that come from the Bible.
From Queen Esther to Samson and Delilah, because a lot of people are not familiar with the story, so he wants to bring it out into the light, and hopefully people see it.
Father Dominic has been putting thought and work on the display since the beginning of the year, without letting the health condition he deals with get in his way. In the last 5 years, he has been dealing with Parkinson's disease. He says the medicines help him do his work, but some days are better than others.
When the medicine doesn't work, then I'm pretty much kind of stiff, can't do much. I'm not, kind of upset about it or anything, but it's what God gives me. Then I do the best what He has given me.
For Father Benedict, a source of inspiration.
To see him put the effort in just to do whatever he can, and to make this way of salvation possible, having that strength and that hope to that saying a lot. And that says, even though I carry this cross, I continue to push.
Continue to push. For both of them, God's will for everyone in this season. In Carthage, Fernandez Silva, KOAM News.
The result, of course, is beautiful. The Way of Salvation Christmas light display opens Thanksgiving Day. It's going to be open until New Year's Day from 6 p.m. to 11. Check it out. Coming up, how the CDC is ramping up its efforts to slow down worries about a triple-demic this winter. Americans can now order up to 8 at-home COVID tests free of charge online to be delivered to their homes. The Department of Health and Human Services relaunched covidtest.gov last month as the virus began to increase, initially offering 4 free tests per household. HHS said last week that 56 million COVID-19 tests have been delivered to U.S. households so far. As the winter season sets in, the CDC is releasing more doses of RSV vaccines for infants to help fight a surge of infections in several states. It comes as the agency urges Americans to vaccinate against the triple threat: flu, COVID, and RSV. Fox's Anna Eliopoulos has that story.
As the nation gets ready to gather around the Thanksgiving table, the CDC is issuing a reminder.
Make sure to get that updated COVID shot, a flu shot, and if you are over 60, that RSV shot.
The nation's top doctors in New York this week, where over the past 3 months, there have been about 1,000 COVID-19 deaths. Flu cases are also picking up, with the CDC reporting a surge in at least 7 states in the Southeast, West Coast, and Central South.
COVID has changed and flu has changed. So you want the most updated protection you can get.
In some states, however, COVID is actually slowing down, and RSV is the chief concern.
The numbers are really starting to increase, at least doubling over the last 4 weeks or so here in the state of Florida.
And while this is the first year an RSV vaccine is available for older adults, it's the nation's tiniest citizens the CDC is most focused on. Last week, the agency announced it will release more than 77,000 additional doses of Beyfortus, designed to protect infants from RSV. The CDC and the FDA working together with manufacturers to ensure availability during the winter season. As for holiday gatherings this year, many people are feeling better than years past.
I'm not worried.
Not nervous, no way.
Nobody's sick in my family, knock on wood, and we enjoy getting together.
If you are concerned, the CDC and doctors recommend washing your hands frequently, and if you are sick, stay home. Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
Diabetes and obesity are on the rise for high-income adults, while high blood pressure is up in low-income adults. A study from the American College of Physicians tracked 20,000 people aged 40 to 64 from 1999 to 2020. For high-income adults, diabetes jumped from 7 to 14%, and obesity rose from 33 to 44%. Low-income adults saw hypertension go from 37 to 44%. Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And a little bit later, it's our Coxie High School volleyball standout signs to continue her career at the college level.
Well, it's definitely cold outside. At least we got a little bit of sunshine this afternoon. Most of the day was cloudy, drizzly, misty outside, and then we cleared out late this afternoon. But temperatures have really dropped. Check out our nice tower cam shot. This is our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Of course, downtown Joplin, right about 7th and Joplin Street, looking off toward the north and to the east. But you can see the flags blowing. It's windy and it's going to stay kind of breezy as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. All right, let's check out our rain stats. Today, only 2/100 of an inch. It was very light. For the month, 0.65. But look at our departure, minus 12 inches. Now, that's what the Joplin Airport got from this storm system. A lot of areas picked up 1, upwards to 2 inches of rain. But look at our temps. Past 36 hours, very steady. We have not gone anywhere. Now we're starting to go down, especially now that we got the clouds out of here, so our temperatures are really going to drop as we go through the rest of the night. 41 in Stockton, 39 at Grand Lake, 35 in Pittsburgh. Iola is sitting at about 34. Let's go outside. Here's 7th. Here's range line. Currently 36 northerly winds at about 5, so that makes it feel a little bit colder. Makes it feel about 32 degrees. Northerly winds still, these are going to kick in tonight, 5 to 15. Not bad. They'll lighten up as we go through the night. A little breezy for us tomorrow, but still pretty good. Look at the back edge of the clouds eroding, heading away from us. Here's our storm system racing off toward the east. And if we look back toward the west, this whole section of weather, that's our weather as we go into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. As we head into the weekend, we'll start to be affected by this system moving into the Pacific Northwest. And that will give us some chances for rain. Maybe even a few flakes of snow, at least nearby, so something we're going to watch. Let me walk you through time. We're going to stop in the morning, 26 in Carthage, 27 in Fort Scott, 27 in Miami. So a chilly start, mid-40s by noon, plenty of sunshine across the board. As we get into the afternoon, I think most of us 48, 49, 50 degrees. Cassville 46, Grand Lake 50. Let's go Chanute, up to about 50 degrees. As we go into tomorrow night, it's cold, not quite as cold, but still cold. Temperatures near freezing. Let's go into Thanksgiving. We do get some clouds during the afternoon hours, but look how our temperatures rebound into the upper 50s for afternoon highs. So Thursday actually is shaping up pretty good. All right, day planner on Wednesday, 27 in the morning, 44 by noon, high temp, 48, plenty of sunshine. If you are traveling tomorrow from St. Louis to Goodland, Oklahoma City to Little Rock, clear, sunny skies, so no concerns about traveling across the region tomorrow. We may have some issues as we head into the weekend. During our second half hour, we're going to address that a little bit closer. 48 tomorrow, 58 on Thanksgiving, 50 on Friday. Some showers moving in as we head into the weekend and really kind of staying chilly over the next several days.
Yeah, and those overnights in particular are
getting
below
down
freezing again.
Yep.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, some people are already traveling for Thanksgiving. We're going to hear about the travel plans of some four-staters. The minimum wage in Missouri is going up in the new year. The State Department of Labor and Industrial Relations announced today It will increase by 30 cents to $12.30 per hour. Voters in 2018 approved incremental yearly increases to the minimum wage through 2023. Now it could go up or down depending on cost of living changes. The new increase will take effect on January 1st. It does not apply to public employees. Americans are already hitting the roads for the holiday travel, and that includes plenty right here in the 4 states. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke to some travelers along I-44.
I have changed my philosophy. I'm doing the speed limit and getting there and back, but as safe as we can.
Holiday season also means holiday travel. 49 million Americans are driving more than 50 miles, according to AAA.
I'm from Illinois originally. My mom still lives up there, so I go up and see her at Thanksgiving.
I'm just traveling with my family up to Branson.
Travelers at the Welcome Center on I-44 say their journey has been smooth so far.
Roads are clear. I mean, a little bit of drizzle, but that's about it.
We did this trip last year during a bad winter storm, and it's a whole lot less stressful than it was last year.
There seems to be a lot of construction for this during a holiday week. I was kind of surprised.
According to the Associated Press, 55 million Americans are driving this holiday season. But so far at the travel center in Missouri, they're saying that gas prices have been on the lower end.
Compared to what they were a year ago, and the fact there's a war in the Middle East, that surprises me that gas is low.
Gas has come down a little bit. Travel's been pretty nice so far.
One element of being stress-free while traveling, keeping the kids occupied. How they hanging up? Are they watching stuff? Or?
Yes, ma'am. We got the iPad set up, and they're watching movies, and Mom's reading a book, so.
She's been asleep the whole time so far.
Although many travelers are focused on their destination, for others, the journey is the tradition.
We stop here almost every time we get our picture taken with that wall.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Average gas prices in Oklahoma now sit at $2.85, while Arkansas sits slightly higher, $2.88. The average price for a gallon of gas in Missouri is $2.90, while in Kansas it has the highest average in the 4 states at $2.99. A bank rate survey finds almost half of U.S. adults have at least one unused gift card, voucher, or store credit. Nationwide, Americans are holding on to about $23 billion in unused gift cards. The average value is $187 per person, which can really take care of a few people on your holiday shopping list.
Even if it's not a store that you really like, maybe it would be perfect for your mom's Christmas present or your brother's Christmas present or somebody's birthday or whatever the case may be.
Industry analysts suggest one way of keeping track of your gift cards is to load them into your phone's mobile wallet so you remember to use them. Up next, we're going to check out the newest addition to Kellogg Lake Park in Carthage. Kids in Carthage have a new place to play. The Chamber of Commerce today celebrated the grand opening of the new Kellogg Lake Playground. It's the newest addition to Kellogg Lake Park, which also features fishing, an outdoor classroom, and a disc golf course.
You know, Kellogg Lake is so beautiful for its nature. We have a lot of bird watchers that come out, a lot of fishermen, and so then to be able to have something for, the smaller kids to be able to do and just play right alongside the parents is a lot of fun.
Park is located along Route 66 on the northeast corner of Carthage. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. How the Biden administration is cracking down on fentanyl within the U.S. Plus, Israel and Hamas reach a deal to free some hostages and temporarily halt fighting.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Dow Quick. The DEA just scored a major drug bust, seizing 250,000 fentanyl pills. Battling the fentanyl crisis in the U.S., however, is just getting started. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor is in Washington with more on the story.
Investigators say they broke up a major fentanyl ring spanning from California to Washington, D.C.
This was a conspiracy that flooded the District of Columbia with fake pills containing fentanyl.
The bust has taken years. Back in 2021, a young mother took a fake pill from her drug dealer and died from the lethal dose of fentanyl.
The DEA reminds us that one pill can kill, and unfortunately for Ms. Lynch, it did.
Investigators tracked down that dealer and uncovered a vast fentanyl distribution network. They brought 23 defendants into custody so far, along with dozens of firearms and approximately 250,000 pills.
Even our own chemists could not tell which ones are fake and which are real.
Some fentanyl pills can even be disguised as candy. Last year, investigators seized thousands of pills from a suspect going through LAX. And President Biden has made cracking down on fentanyl in the U.S. a key diplomatic goal. Many of the chemicals used to make fentanyl originally coming from China. At the APEC summit, Chinese President Xi Jinping agreed to help curb the flow of fentanyl to the U.S.
We also met with President of Mexico. Together, we committed to expanding law enforcement cooperation and intelligence sharing to better disrupt the flow of fentanyl.
But critics say the president needs to do more.
The Biden administration has allowed millions and millions and millions of these pills to come through the southern border, and they are not attacking the source.
The DEA emphasized how social media was used in the busted fentanyl operation, saying almost every defendant in the case used Instagram. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
The Biden administration is announcing what it hails as the single largest investment in environmental justice. The program takes the form of $2 billion in grants supporting local clean energy efforts in underserved areas. Kicks off a year-long process for communities to apply for those grants. Israel and Hamas have agreed to a deal that will free some of the hostages held in Gaza, as well as put fighting temporarily on hold. Fox News correspondent Jeff Paul has more from southern Israel.
As the fighting continues in northern Gaza, we're seeing significant movement on the diplomatic front. Israel and Hamas agreeing to a deal on Tuesday that will see dozens of hostages, mostly women and children, freed from captivity in exchange for more than 100 Palestinians being held by Israel and a multi-day ceasefire. The deal was brokered by diplomats from the U.S. and Qatar, with negotiations starting almost immediately after the fighting broke out.
We've been working on this intensively for weeks, as you all know. I've spoken recently about it with both the Prime Minister Netanyahu and the Emir of Qatar. My team has been in the region shuttling between capitals.
But it's still not clear if this agreement will succeed. The fighting has been intensifying in recent days as Hamas regroups near the Jabalia refugee camp, a huge complex of concrete buildings just east of the city. Palestinian civilians have serious doubts that any ceasefire will hold.
Now it is Israel's turn to follow the steps, and in the end, we all know that the Jews never abide by any agreement.
And officials here have been saying since the start of the war that any permanent truce will only come after the release of all of the hostages, making it unlikely diplomats will be able to build on this agreement to get a deal for a longer ceasefire.
We are currently focusing on a very strong and proactive defense in the north in order to achieve a crushing victory in the south. The first goal, the elimination of Hamas, does not stop until it is done.
Officials say right now 236 people are being held hostage, roughly 40 of them children. In southern Israel, Jeff Paul, Fox News.
A bit later, if you don't eat all your Thanksgiving leftovers, we'll have some tips to reduce food waste.
Well, another cold one for us today. We had clouds, drizzle, mist most of the day, but a little bit of sunshine late in the day. Now clear skies. Here's a great shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. We are looking downtown Joplin. It looks cold and it's kind of windy, but we are dry, and we're going to stay dry as we go through the next couple days, which is good for so many travelers. All right, it's 30 in Neodesha, it's 36 Oswego. We're going to look at Anderson sitting at 37. Stockton is sitting at 38. I think everybody's going to drop back mid to upper 20s later on tonight. So it is going to be kind of a chilly one. We have those northerly winds, which are kicking in at about 5 to 10. Every now and then we're getting gusts a little bit heavier than that. Here's the back edge of the clouds just east of Mount Vernon towards Springfield. They've been eroding, so really most of us have clear skies. And this is all behind our storm system. Of course, it gave us the rain over the past couple days, now moving up the eastern seaboard. So for travelers, if you're flying east, this could cause some delays as we get into the daytime hours tomorrow. Out to the west, a whole bunch of nothing. That's our weather for the next few days, and then eventually we'll start to deal with that system out across the Pacific Northwest. All right, let me walk you through time. Cold start. Carthage 26, Neosho 26, 27 in Miami, Parsons down to 25. By noon, mid-40s. You can see plenty of sunshine. Highs 48 to 50 across the board. Tomorrow night, cold, not as cold, but cold. Temperatures near freezing. Let's go into Thanksgiving. We'll stop it in the afternoon. We are going to get some clouds, but a nice day. Mount Vernon, 57. Grand Lake, 59. Nevada, 55. Independence, up to about 57 degrees. So temperatures are going to be great for Thanksgiving. All right, day planner for you Wednesday. 27 to start, 44 by noon, and then a high temp right around 48, which is below where we should be for this time of the year. And if you are doing some traveling over the next several days, going somewhere, coming back home, tomorrow you can see across the entire 4-state area, everybody looks good. Sunny skies and dry. Let's go into Thanksgiving itself. We do get more clouds, but across the board, mainly upper 50s to near 60. Let's go into Black Friday. A lot of clouds, but again, no issues. But as we head into the weekend, we do have a wave kicking out. You can see rain trying to work into Joplin, Tulsa, Oak City. It's snow, central western Kansas. So this is Saturday evening. Let's go into Saturday night. Rain spreads into our area, but our northern counties, you may get a mix of snow. There's going to be snow up toward Kansas City and also Wichita. So this is something we want to watch as we get a little bit closer to the weekend, as a lot of people start to head back home over the weekend. All right, 48 tomorrow, 58 Thursday, 50 on Friday. Showers increase late Saturday, high of only 46 on Sunday. So it's a cooler stretch of weather, but overall for the holiday itself, the weather is pretty nice.
Yeah, but people are going to be staying inside pretty much and eating turkey, I would imagine.
And taking a nap and watching football.
There you go. All of those things. Thank Doug. Fort Scott family has been providing free Thanksgiving turkeys to the community for 24 years, but this year might be the last. Marjorie Schwalm is the driving force behind the dinner. After more than 2 decades of spending a week to cook and organize everything, she says she's tired and would like to focus on her family next year, but she's glad she's done it for so long.
My family's always been together with everything we do, and we may be out here fixing turkey dinners for everybody else, but my whole family's out here. And after we get our work done, we can sit down and have our meal together out here. So it's been a joy. I would do it all over again.
Now, this year's dinner is still happening. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Thursday. Folks can pick up their food from a drive-through at the Elks Lodge or put in a delivery order. Coming up in sports, the Sarcoxie High School senior signs to play volleyball at the collegiate level. Plus, Pitt State men's basketball plays at home for the first time this year. John Dales has highlights from that game and more up next.
Hey, welcome into sports. I'm John Dales. Pittsburgh State men's hoops began the 2023 season going 1-1 in the Central Region tip-off in Kansas City. That was a week and a half ago. Tonight, the Gorillas take their floor at home for the first time. Pitt State playing its first home game of the season in front of the home crowd. McPherson is its opponent. First possession of the game, Jordan Frison finds Tane Prichter down low. He powers it in for a two-handed jam. PSU takes the early lead. A few minutes later, Gorillas with the basketball again, and Max Alexander takes the ball strong to the rim, gets the bucket and the foul after converting an and one free throw. Gorillas lead 14-6. Then Jordan Frison, back to him. He scores 2 of his 15 points on the night. We'd hear more from him as this one goes on. Another 2 by Alexander. Again, Pitt State leads by 12 at halftime. McPherson just couldn't hang with the Gorillas. Frison adds 2 more later in the second half. PSU goes on to win 75-54. The Gorillas are led in points by Max Anderson, who missed all but 2 games with an injury last year and is very happy to be back out on the floor.
Blessed. I'm very, very blessed. There's a lot of dark times going through that. I'm really happy and thankful to be out here with all my guys, and this is where I belong, and just thankful, very thankful.
Over to women's college hoops. The Gorillas win there as well. Amanda David's squad goes on the road and easily handles Ouachita Baptist. Final score 86-60. The Gorillas are 4-0. Karina Gerber and Grace Pyle each lead the way for Pitt State scoring-wise, both of them scoring 15 points apiece. PSU plays Henderson State tomorrow at 2. Over to Missouri Southern men's basketball. The Lions playing in the Doubletree Thanksgiving Classic in Springfield, and they dropped their first game of that tournament to Illinois Springfield, 96-77, the final score there. The Prairie Stars shoot 38% from beyond the arc in this one. Southern will play again tomorrow. Their opponent in that game is Drury. And the early signing period continues along for high school senior athletes committing to play at the next level. Now this afternoon, Peyton Ogle, a senior at Sarcoxie High School, signs her national letter of intent to continue her academic and athletic career at Neosho County Community College. She says the relationship with the coaching staff there and players that are future teammates factored into the decision to join the Panthers.
The coaches were nice. It was probably one of the best schools I'd visited, probably one of my best offers too. So I went with them, and I wanted to play for 2 years instead of 4. So I went on a visit after we talked for a little bit, and then they gave me an offer. And at first I actually declined the offer, and then I decided I wanted to go. So I went back and they gave me my offer back. The coach was really nice, and I liked all the players too whenever I went on my visit.
Back to Pitt State basketball against the big win at home. I talked with Jeff Boschee after the game as well. Even after a 21-point loss, he says there's a lot of stuff we can still improve on. They got a little bit of time to improve on that. They play William Jewell on Saturday at home.
And it was nice for the fans, I think, heading into Thanksgiving break to get a chance to get out and cheer on the home team.
Definitely.
We'll be back with more news right after this. The Thanksgiving foods are arguably some of the best, but what happens to much of the uneaten food after dinner is causing some stomachs to turn. Fox News' Ted Lidner takes a look at how food waste is causing some rotten problems and how you can help this holiday season.
As the name implies, Thanksgiving is about being grateful for what we have. With tabletops worth of delicious foods shared with family and friends, a vital way many of us celebrate the holiday.
Yeah.
But what if we want to start showing thanks to the planet? Agriculturists say we need to prevent most of the food we buy from going into the garbage.
About 1/3 of all food that's produced is actually never eaten.
Data collected by the University of Minnesota finds Americans trash about 305 million pounds of food from each Thanksgiving. It's a small number when compared to the roughly 119 billion pounds of food wasted every year in the U.S., according to Feeding America.
That 1,250 calories of food per person per day that isn't eaten takes up about 30 million acres of land. That means all the pesticides, all the irrigation water, all the fertilizer that goes on that land is also going to food that is never eaten.
And when roughly 20% of landfill material is wasted food, the Department of Agriculture says the rotting produce releases climate-damaging methane gas. But there's ways you can combat food waste. And it starts by planning how much food you actually need to make at home.
We have the means to alter that food portion size that we eat.
The Environmental Protection Agency recommends freezing, pickling, and dehydrating extra fruits and vegetables, and freezing meats in containers with dates written on them. But if you do have to get rid of moldy or spoiled food, the EPA suggests composting it instead of throwing it away in the trash. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
Inflation is down again this month, and Thanksgiving dinner is going to be cheaper on average than last year, but it's still going to be pricier than before the pandemic. According to the American Farm Bureau Federation, Thanksgiving dinner for 10 people will cost $61.17 on average this year. That's 4.5% less than last year's record high of $64.05, but it's still 25% more than 2019. Coming up, lots of fire departments make videos about safely frying a turkey, but we're going to check out one that went viral. It's a Thanksgiving classic for some people. It's not the turkey itself, but rather a video with tips on avoiding burns when deep frying the bird. Jeannie Most reports.
That bad boy is ready.
Who's calling who a bad boy? We humans are the ones who need public service announcements to teach us cook the turkey, not your home. The annual PSA from the Consumer Product Safety Commission was even put to music. A banger to drive home the dangers of deep frying turkeys. This is the coolest thing that could kill me ever. Combining two American favorites, explosions and turkey. Turkenheimer, someone dubbed it, a play on Oppenheimer, the name of one of the creators of the atomic bomb. The turkeys on TikTok are running wild.
I want you to breathe in and breathe out.
Attempting turkey breast compressions and injections of seasoning.
And because the times we living in, not even the turkey could be safe from getting vaccinated. So I injected it with this juice.
A first-timer recorded his deep frying debut.
And now we about to hit the Crisco Disco with this bad boy right here.
But this Crisco Disco Inferno almost burned his hand.
Get it unhooked, dude. I couldn't get it unhooked.
Some do the turkey strut over the deep-fried taste. So what are some turkey frying tips? Thaw the turkey, dry the turkey, don't overfill the pot with hot oil, keep away from structures. And if all this leaves you too chicken to deep fry a turkey, consider just wearing one.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of otters at a New Hampshire aquarium enjoying an early Thanksgiving dinner. Let's make it a great tomorrow.